I asked Mika to look, not to look this up. He asked me if I wanted any slides. This is the only slide I want to put up here. Everybody in here is a performer in their own right. Some people, of course, are performing a little higher than others. You'll tend to see the, and I'm not going to age people, but you'll see the older crowd kind of label it as like motivation. That's kind of like a one-all, like broad stroke of, oh, I don't need motivation. You'll hear someone that makes like 200 grand. I don't need an event like that. I don't need motivation. Yeah, but what if with the right coaching and hearing the right people speak, hearing a different angle, perspective, you should be making $500,000. What if you have that in you, but you don't hear the right people speak? You close yourself down because you're good with 200K, 300K. I had my best year ever in 2018. What Mika was saying, for those that don't know it, I'm not saying this financially to brag, I've been homeless twice. Only reason I could afford UC Santa Barbara is because I joined the U.S. Air Force. The only reason. My mom's worked 2 jobs since I was 6 years old. I made 360 grand last year, and in the month of January, I took home somewhere around $65,000 in the month. I just want to give you some perspective, because a lot of times in life in January, I talked about, you'll find people just don't really have a dream they're chasing. You see, the people with the highest skills also tend to have the longest and deepest ruts. Just because you're making a good living does not mean that you're living with vibrancy. Just because you're making a good living does not mean that you have all the connections you need in life to get to that next level, regardless of your past success, regardless of your current age. One thing that's always been easy for me, and maybe just call it luck, call it serendipity, is that I was fortunate enough to work in the fitness industry for almost 7 years. And so it's ingrained in my head that the best people have the best coaches, the best trainers. The people that tend to get stuck are typically stuck with self. It's so obvious when you look at it like that, right? You get stuck, you're all in your own world, everything outside of your world's all screwed up. It's probably a repercussion of too much of just yourself. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So find what you need right now, because everybody in here needs something. If you're killing it, your next level of success might only come from someone else being able to critique your schedule. Someone else looking at your discipline. Someone else analyzing some of your health situations, your energy situations. I reminded Jose of something that I think a lot of us get into. We get into this mindset of, well, I need to power through. I need to soldier up. He was telling me about how he gets tired at 6. And I said, well, what do you do about that? He said he does nothing. He just powers through. Now, I'm not in the field all the time. You guys know that. But I'm pretty sure that nothing has changed about the fact that the 7 p.m. appointment and the 8 p.m. appointment, and if you have a 9 p.m. appointment, those tend to be the highest closing ratios. Why do you want to power through what's supposed to be your best shot? But high performers, the people that are killing it, the people that are crushing it, clarity. They have clarity. Everything that they want, they can see. The second thing that they do, they generate energy. They have energy. They don't complain about their lack of sleep. They fix it when it's a problem. That's the second highest reported thing amongst top performers. Generate energy. Third thing, raise necessity. You got to raise necessity. I have something I really want you guys to hear, so I actually put this one. With this one, I have one piece I want to share with you. Breakthroughs will only come from another level of self-love and bigger demand on yourself. For those of you that feel like something's missing, or you're looking for your next level of success, this was a common theme amongst the last 3 days. Stop beating yourself up. Nobody gets a breakthrough by beating themselves up. A lot of times you don't have the ability or the self-awareness to recognize a good pattern that's starting to just get a little stale. And you're not going to get there by soldiering up or beating yourself up. Breakthroughs come from your next level of self-love or a bigger or new demand on yourself of service. Increase productivity. A lot of people do have this mental block. If you are not in the six-figure club of income, you got to accept something. You need more productivity. If there's one thing I thought is so beautiful about this opportunity, I do not think it's tough to make six figures here. I don't. And so with that belief and that mindset, it's made it so much easier for me to make almost 26-figure earners outside of myself. Develop influence. I'm not saying that everybody should be in leadership or management, but a lot of times I do see this pattern of someone doing so well with themselves that they fall into this pattern of just focused on themselves. I don't want anyone else to see what I do. I don't want to manage other people. Where in truth, their next level of success, their next level of vibrancy in life, their next level of meaning only comes from connection with others. Last thing, remember I'm talking about the 6 categories that define a high performer, or sorry, rather what the 6 categories that 10,000 high performers said keeps them and got them to high performance. Last thing, demonstrate courage. I 100% respect, admire, and love the results of what we do, the purpose behind what we do. You give of your time, you give of your energy to better protect people that need to hear what you have to say. Behind the scenes, Cohen, #1 in the entire company in their category. Some people, 20% of us, not even in the game. We fix that. We don't stay #1. We break records. We influence people that we've never met. That makes sense?
Yes.
I don't know how I'm doing on time, so
Good.
I'm good? All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple last things. We're not saving the planet here. We're selling life insurance. We're doing something noble. And where some of these people are not in the game yet, there's a couple other people in this room that really need to hear this. You connect with what we do. You enjoy helping families. Your purpose is to serve of others. Yet you forgot, if you don't make the money, you can't sustain the mission. So, close it out. I'm going to give you guys just a couple things on what I view as the mission. Because the mission, I think, is super important. I really believe that. I tell people every orientation I give, our goal is to be the premier option for the middle and lower income families that really need us to protect their families. That's the mission to me. That's my team's mission. That's not my personal mission. But that's the mission as far as what we do, as far as life insurance. That's how I view it. And so how better the planet would it be if we connected with more people, protected more people from bankruptcy with cancer, protected more people with bankruptcy from final expenses, because we remembered something. In order to do that, you're not Thor out there or the Hulk fighting Thanos. You're making phone calls. And you're calling people that in some fashion have requested that call. You're knocking on a door that in some fashion has requested that stop by. Go protect families. That's what we do. If you're in leadership, keep your team first. Because you can scale a business and a leadership here like ridiculously, guys. I got a $35,000 bonus. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's $35,000 that hit my Chase bank account for the work that my team did in 3 months worth of work. Purpose is not just helping life insurance. Purpose, I'm sure for most of you, it's that other person whose life you influence when you're on your A game. My A game to this date is January of 2020. Because that's when I put the most money in my bank account. That's when I could help and influence and protect the most people that I care about. Only reason I bring up money is because for me, I think some people have forgotten, your purpose is not necessarily selling life insurance. Kobe Bryant's purpose was not just playing and winning basketball games, was it? It was to be the best example of somebody so that he could then influence other people well beyond the basketball court. Your purpose and mission in life are not door knocks, calls, closing deals. Your purpose in life is the results that come from when you succeed at those tasks that I just listed. If discipline, if focus, if scheduling, making a planner and sticking to it, if you need help with discipline, with focus, with planning, just get a little thump. Guys, that's the human condition. If there's one thing that going to these events for the 4th time now has helped me the most, it's realizing that the multi-millionaires have the exact same problems I do. They're just a little bit better at recognizing when those patterns are hurting them so that they can course correct. They also have a better system of people that recognize those patterns for them so they can also help them course correct. That's the human condition. Right? Purpose, a lot of times, you never realize this. You've all heard me say, who needs you on your A game? I've always known that it's whoever in this agency needs me now on my A game is that one. But behind the scenes, it's always been my mom and my dog, Charlie. So remember, you maybe know who needs you on your A game. You don't always know who you're going to influence that you've never met just by being on yours. So remember that, guys. Everybody's watching. People always watching. Be the best example you can be. Hopefully this didn't take too long. What you need to do, Mika?
It's all right.